Hi, everyone. I seem to keep coming up with these grab bags of ideas and not knowing what to do with them, so I decided to throw them in here to the extra bonus in the marketing area. I wanted to talk about author websites. I know a lot of people think they need them. I'm kind of lukewarm on them. Mailing lists, which I'm very hot on, and how to pick Amazon best-selling categories. I'm actually going to give you a live demonstration of that. But before that, what I want to do is I want to talk about websites. Let's look at the pluses and the minuses, the pros and cons to websites. Usually they're easy to implement and maintain via a WordPress website. WordPress, the blogging tool, has now become the #1 website development tool. It runs like 1/3 of all the websites on the internet, so it's a very popular and cool way to go. I like it a lot. You can typically host a WordPress site for the first year for about $40. That's $40 for the whole year, and that includes a free domain. Now, they're going to try and get you with upgrades and go, oh, would you like to have an optimized server? Would you like to protect your identity of your domain name? And all those add-on. I usually say no. And I go and I get my $40 WordPress website. Now, the problem is that if this takes off and you like the website and you want to keep it, the following year and on usually cost about $200 a year to keep your website. Now, I find websites are useful to store blog posts, and it enhances an author's credibility, but they're more of a resource drain than they're worth in my mind. Now, talking about websites, this is my typical website, and you can see where the resource drain comes. I decided to make it information rich. So I have menus that take you to pages on my books, on my courses, on my publishing, on my websites. There's a blog, which I always feel like, I need to keep contributing to that. Contact usually stays stable, and so does about and home. But everything in between changes, and I never seem to keep my website up to date. So that's where I talk about it being more of a drain than it's worth. And in my experience, because of that, they fall out of date. Now, if you really want to set up a WordPress website, I have a course on it. Just look for this logo when you search for WordPress on Udemy. Next, let's talk about mailing lists. And I think these are much more important. What they do is they store reader email addresses and then send emails. It's stored on a server. So what this server does is it accepts incoming subscribers to register their email address on your mailing list, and then they wait for you to say, okay, send this email to everybody on my mailing list, and they send it for you. So you don't worry too much about becoming spam. They're legitimate senders of a lot of email. And the best place I found to go to is that you can get free mailing lists on a site called MailChimp for up to 2,000 members. That's a lot of members. MailChimp can also host your sign-up pages, so you don't necessarily need a website to have forms for people to sign up to your mailing list. You can, and you can even embed the forms in your website on what's called the sidebar, but you don't have to. You can have your dedicated pages hosted by MailChimp. And what you do is you advertise your mailing list in your book, and you advertise your books to your mailing list, and you just set up this cyclone of repetition until you get all your readers on your mailing list, and every time you come out with a new book, you say, hey, guys, and suddenly you get a lot of sales very quickly, which makes you a top seller and increases your visibility. So I think this is a higher priority and less work than a website. The amount of work in setting up and maintaining a website, you have to write a lot of text. You don't have to write as much to set up a mailing list. I'd rather have you writing books than writing blog posts or text for your website. Now, here's how MailChimp works, more or less, in a view. MailChimp is here in the center. So what happens is the customers on the right, they subscribe, that's the loop up over the top, to your mailing list. And they usually do that because they're being enticed with free stuff that you're going to give away. And then you go and say, okay, send this email, and it sends it to all the customers that have subscribed to the list. And they can unsubscribe anytime. They get a link in all the emails. They open and click on things, and all of these things come back to you as reports saying, hey, here's the success of your emails. Now, here's a typical sign-up form that at least I created for my mailing list. And you can see it's very clear on what it's doing. It's laid out. It looks very nice. It gives away a free book. This is called the lead magnet to get leads. So if people subscribe to your mailing list, they get a free book. And then they also get informative information. It's got to be like about 80-20. It's about 80% information, and then it's about 20% marketing. So if you keep your mailing list that way, it should stay healthy. So that's my spiel on mailing lists. And I've got a course on setting up a MailChimp mailing list, of course. Look for this icon when you search for MailChimp on Udemy. Next, I want to talk about best-selling categories. I alluded earlier in filling in the categories that you ought to pick areas where you can be bestsellers in. Let me explain this. If you type in the search area like we've been focusing on, that's Amazon SEO, and it has to do with the search engine optimization, which has to do with the keywords. Now, right below the keywords are two categories, and this is the way that you browse through menus like this menu over on the left. So you have one set, the categories, that sets up being found through the menus on the left of the page, and then you have the other, the keywords, which are being found through the search field on the Amazon form. Now, the cool part about becoming or getting into certain categories is that you become a bestseller in them. So here I'm showing you a current book that we have out for free. It's number 700 and free in the Kindle store. That's actually really good. And notice the categories here. In Cozy Mystery and Woman Sleuths, it's 36 and 41. And Amazon will actually put you into categories that are close to your category based on your selection. And remember, you're selecting them here via the KDP form just below keywords. And my recommendation is to pick soft categories. And I'm about to break out a PowerPoint here and give you an explanation of what I'm talking about. Okay, here I am on Amazon, and I'm on the Kindle, in the Kindle eBooks store. Now, the best way to check out and get soft categories is to go as far as you can into the hierarchy of menus. Usually, the farther you go, the better things turn out. Let me show you an example. I wrote Cozy Mysteries for a while, and Sanderson House is one example. I'll plug myself. So I would go here to say, I'm writing a mystery thriller. And I'd look at the results for mystery thriller. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is up so high that we're talking about some real competition. 1,000-something reviews, 4.5 stars. David Baldacci. Okay, we're going against the hard hitters. Oh, 240. Oh, here's one that's only 5. So that's giving you hints that there might be ways in here. 58, 15. Recommended for you. Okay. Well, but the cool part is from here we can go further, go as far as you can in this hierarchy. So we're going to go mystery, thriller, and suspense. We're going to pick mystery. And it gets better because there's actually categories under mystery now. Now look at the books over to the right. Now we're in the 900s, 200. Here's one with 31, James Patterson. Good luck. 110. This is getting softer, but it's still pretty hard. But the cool part is that it keeps on going. There are categories under mystery, and the one that I write in is cozy. So let's try Cozy Mystery. Oh, now number 2 is to 147. Number 3 is to 25. Here's 130, still pretty good reviews. 3.5 stars at 25. It's getting soft down here at the end. So what you want to do is you want to score on the first page. The best place to hide a dead body is on the second page of search results. Nobody looks there. You've got to get on page 1. So the cool part, though, is look, it goes even further. So if you're writing a cozy mystery about crafts and hobbies or culinary, that sounds popular. Animals. Animals are easy to slip in, and that sounds like a good one. What have we got here? 3.5 stars, 25 reviews. This is still, getting into these categories is not easy. But I see 12 here. Of course, it's scored 5 stars. That's tough to beat. 19 here. So this is getting to be a pretty good category where you can maybe score. And the problem is that there are no more hierarchies under this. You've gone as deeply as you can. So what you might do is choose mystery and thriller, mystery, cozy, animals for your category. Now you get 2 categories, so you can always go back. Let's go back to ebooks. And let's say we also want to make this humor and entertainment. Let's see what we've got in here that might be deep. Let's go for humor. And we have cartoons, essays, parodies, satire. Let's just go for comedy. And that's the end of that particular branch. And we look here and we go, oh, okay, well, yeah, Trevor Noah has a big book out. Can we score in here? Oh, the 18, see, I see that, and I go, I have hope. But then the rest of them, this is a hard category. But what you do is you keep looking for them. Now, you can't just pick any category. Don't put yourself into gay and lesbian just because your history book has found a soft category to rank your book in. It's got to be actually related to gay and lesbian if you want to put it in that category. So pick a category, pick categories that are close to what you're after or close to what you're saying, but then you want the softest categories you can find. So by doing that, you go to the very ends usually of the hierarchy. Here, look, I'm Kindle Store, Kindle ebook, humor and entertainment, humor and comedy. So I'm actually 5 deep. I can get deeper than that. I've been up to 7. And that's all I had to say about picking a soft category. And up next is going to be the next section on Amazon's self-publishing demonstration. I'm going to demonstrate the whole process in kind of a speed trial, all the way from book covers, formatting traditionally, formatting with Kindle Create, and then publishing via KDP on Kindle and print-on-demand paperback. I'll see you in that lecture.